welcome to Wednesday. It's the last day of November. Like old times, I'm popping on with almost no, with no announcement and with just about no notice. I just scheduled this 2 minutes ago so that I could put a thumbnail on it. And that's it. I know I said yesterday that I might be back today, and it just worked out. I got enough of my work done, and I have a couple of client readings to do before I go and do some things for my afternoon. So I have just the perfect amount of time to pop in and see you all like I wanted to do. And I've decided we will just go ahead and do like a part two of yesterday's adventures of going through the stack of decks that had not yet been shown for the collection videos or that have not been yet homed in the cubes behind where I normally sit. So if you weren't here yesterday, you'll see that I'm on the side of, I'm to the right of where I usually sit. So it's a little bit like behind the camera. This shelf I just brought up from the basement yesterday, and we put this many decks up here yesterday. These are all maternity leave haul part two because I did show some the very first time I came back after having Vela. So anyway, this is all, we didn't look through all of these yesterday, but I at least showed what was going up there and said for some of them, we'll get back to later for sure. But you're basically helping me record the decks because you'll know that when I made those collection videos several months ago, that was so that I could have a running list and really know what I have and get a count and things like that just because I was curious. So this is what we're doing today. And plus I left yesterday on a little teary note, and I just want to tell everyone that I'm okay. I came back up very quickly after I got offline and got out of this room. A lot of what I'm dealing with right now is, I don't like saying goodbye to you anyway, but it was just being with people and then not being with people and having to go back and like deal with life. And so everything yesterday was just stressy. And so I'm sorry if I worried anyone there at the end, but I'm doing better today, feeling better overall, and we can have fun looking through the rest of these decks today and getting them up on this new shelf. Now, yesterday I mentioned that I don't know, we might be putting, not today, but at some point we might put the Lenormand and like little decks because I have like Mildred Payne with my Lenormand just because it's so small. And I also have Kawaii Tarot sitting there too. So anyway, we're going to put those possibly on this shelf, and then maybe these things will eventually end up over there. But you know what I'm saying. For today, we're just going to continue going through these and put them up here, just kind of relative to what I usually do, kind of a quickie video today. So let's say hi to everyone. Ellie is here. Hello. Thanks for hanging out with us. Kelly Sunflower. Hello, B. Happy Wednesday. Jane the Seeker is here. Hello. Our Chris is here working, but he popped in to say hi. Well, we are so happy to see you. Donna is here. Yes, thank you. Doing better today. Thank you so much. Isabel, yeah, nice surprise. I didn't schedule except for just 2 minutes out so I could put a thumbnail. But yeah, I kind of had a lot to do this morning, but I have it worked out just enough so that I had this little time to pop on. And thank you. I feel better. Pamela's here. Hello, my sweet friend. Jane says, I'm curious as to how many Lenormand decks you have. So I do have a list. Is it on this computer? Hold on, I think it is. Let me tell you. Getting the other screen open here. So just hold on a moment. Nope, just kidding. It's not on this one. But I do think I posted it in the group. Let me see. Thank you, B. I'll get an answer for you, Jane. I can look it up in the group. Thank you, Donna. Regina says, hello, work looking as usual, hands full of wire today in case I miss hellos. Everyone do check out Regina's channel if you're not already subscribed. She also has an Etsy shop where she sells her beautiful creations. Scott is here. Hello, happy Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out. Yes, I popped up live today. It's kind of, I know I mentioned yesterday I might be here, but it was just a very last minute thing based on my schedule and what I was able to do. So, I could just show you, Jane, because they're right behind where I usually sit. So let me just turn this a little bit and try not to make you all dizzy. So you'll see okay, nice and easy over here. So that middle cube, okay, so you can see 6. There's also more at the bottom that you kind of can't see because of the table. Oh yeah, there's 3 down there. So do you see that little tiny Kelly Bear pouch that's red with a black ribbon on it? That is one of my Mildred Payne Secret Pocket oracles. And the rest of that cube, except for that like mint green Kelly bag, everything else in there is Lenormand, and it goes 3 deep, though that one may only be like 2.5 rows. So that's what it looks like. And I do have a list of all the decks that I have, except for these new things that I'm showing, typed up and put in the private Facebook group as like a running inventory of things. But I don't know. I want to say maybe there's like 30, 25 or 30, something like that. Okay. So let me see what we have here. Picking up, Jane says, I didn't even know there were that many Lenormand decks. Oh, Jane, just hang out a while. And actually, what I guess I should suggest you do is go to my first collection video. So I think there are 5. There's like Lenormand playing card fortune type things, like the extras category, which is kind of my favorite category. That first collection video will show at least a flash of every Lenormand deck I have. So those collection videos show everything. Every once in a while I open them up and show cards. But that way you'll get kind of an idea. Oh, and I guess I do have a couple Lenormand down in my friend cube. So I have like Mendy's deck. I have Robin's Lenormand down there. I have 1 or 2 or 3 of Juliet Peekaboo Rose, her Lenormand decks. So I guess some of them are in the friend cube. This is the issue. Like when we went through those collection videos and sorted everything, I used to have it like kind of all separated, but now I don't. Now I have like creator decks together, plus the center cube is Lenormand, plus a couple extras. And then I do have astrology and stuff like that separated out. And then I have decks by friends in the bottom left. So yeah, it'll be the one that says like astrology Lenormand playing cards or something like that. And that will give you an idea of all the pretty things. So our first deck for today is called, I don't know what, Living Tree Orchid Essences, I think. Because here's the thing that says, you know, how to use the cards. This is the box. This came in a bundle secondhand, that same bundle that I was talking about yesterday. So they're Oracle Orchid cards. It tells how to use these. In effect, they are tools for the intuition and therefore are certain that myriad uses are still to be discovered, but in quietly flipping through the cards on a given day, notice which cards seem to appeal to you most strongly, so on and so forth. So this is what I would call a couch deck, because you can sit on the couch and not have to get out a sheet or a book, because you have images on one side of different orchids. Who knew there were so many? Probably some of you, because you're very smart. And then on the back, it tells you like the key phrase and quite a long message about it. So some of them are, so like here's the image, and then it will say Direct Vision on the back, and it goes on about that. Crown of Consciousness, Being in Time, Being in Grace, Behold the Silence, so on and so forth. Isabel said that made me smile. Sorry, I'm like rocking this whole laptop every time I move because I've got it turned and it's just not how it normally is, as you know. Isabel says it's called I don't know what. Love that you've got such a little stash you've been gathering, you've lost track of it. That is true, though most of them I can tell you what they are just by looking. But because this is such like a little mystery, this would have been a good one for the curiosity decks because like what is it? It says nothing on the box, right? Okay. Anyway, that's my little orchid deck. Oh, goodness. I do have quite the little squirrel stash over here. Is what it is. Okay. This can fit up here. This craziness can be adjusted a bit. Then we have Tarot of Gemstones and Crystals. This is an AGM deck. I bought this from the shop where I used to work, actually. A few months ago, I ordered some more Thieves Spray online from there and threw this in the cart to, I don't know if it was to get free shipping or just because I wanted a deck from the shop where I used to work, because I don't think I'd ever bought one there before. Is that true? And I'm always curious about which cards are associated to which crystals, because one of the first 3 decks I used when I came back into tarot was a crystal deck. And that's the one I used in the shop most of the time. And it was also a crystal shop. So it all made sense. And I thought it made sense to buy this little relatively inexpensive deck from the crystal shop where I used to work and read tarot. I have edged this in many colors, just randomly, not to do with anything on the cards. So I have like a list, a grid going in one of my Benebell planners that has like temperance and then what each, not each crystal deck I have, but the 2 main ones, this one and Philip Hermott Crystal Tarot, what the associations are for each one. So these just have images of the crystals, the name and the name of the crystal, and the tarot number. Topaz for Queen of Wands. If you hear creaking, that's the roof. It is very windy here today. We have some kind of polar vortex temperature drop coming, so that's exciting. Copper for the Ten of Cups. So this was just sort of a fun additional little thing I threw in my online shopping cart. Snowflake Obsidian for the Devil. So yeah, what do you think about that? I'll show you kind of some different Aventurine for the High Priestess, Ruby for the Lovers. And a lot of them are different from what the other ones are that I have, but I like to see how they're kind of like grouped together. Ten of Swords is a smoky quartz. And for example, I know in the Philip Hermott Crystal Tarot that smoky quartz goes with the Devil. And so then once I get that, the full grid written out, I don't think I've quite finished it yet. Then I might take the 2 smoky quartz cards, the Ten of Swords and the Devil, and like write about how they are similar, different, etc. These are the things I do. Okay, so there's that. Crystals and Gemstones Tarot. I think that will fit right there quite nicely, and then we'll probably call that good for the top shelf. Then I have a Wild Moon Lunar Phase deck. This also came in that bundle. Same bundle I was talking about yesterday. There were maybe 5 or 7 decks in it. I don't know. I have other things by this creator and like them well enough. especially to have another little add-on in this secondhand collection. So this is another what I'd call a couch deck. Has the meanings and everything on the back, and um, the image there. This gives a phase influence, history and lore, ritual, crystal, and a mantra. So this is an example of one of those like secondary crystal decks. And I want to do like a crystal and chakra thing, like the White Sage Tarot has things listed for chakras. So the images are all like the same color scheme and very much the same background design, but then the moon is depicted differently, of course. Yeah. It's very pretty. It's a great little study deck if you're wanting to learn more about the moon phases. I'm pretty well versed with those, but I do enjoy, again, that it has, you know, like things like ritual and crystal and everything like that. Or this one says color and not crystal. So, it's nice to have a little extra information, things to do during that particular moon phase, so on and so forth. Yeah, but they're looking pretty similar, but they are distinct in terms of what the moon looks like. Waning moon. Hello, Nancy. Thank you for hanging out with us today. So yeah, pretty little deck and great for learning or practicing with moon phases. Okay, back we go. Let's put this here. Then we have, now this is going to be interesting because there should be two more, but I think they're on the other side of the table. But I'll mention them all here so I have them in my list. Where is that Prisma though? Oh, it might be in that bag. I digress. Pocket edition. Cosmovisions, Prismavision, Light Visions. Is that what it's called? Yes. Okay. Light Visions is the kind of two-tone version of the Prismavisions by James R. Eads. I own all three of the big regular size. I own all three in this pocket edition that came with the tin. I'm peeking around here because I use Cosmovision's pocket a lot, and I did post in the group a few months ago, like the Grand Tableau Past Life spread that they include in the book with the pocket version on top of the big ones that I did as like houses, which is something that they, I don't know if it tells about that in the book or if I just did that. The spread is definitely there, the Past Life spread, but I can't remember if it said to layer them like houses or not. I think maybe I did that on my own. However, I did over the summer, once or sometimes twice a week, would meet in a little private StreamYard with a friend to go through. We did, kind of a casual study of Cosmovisions. So that one I've definitely used a ton already. This little one I haven't used a lot. And I do also have like I said, Prismavisions. And I don't know where that is right at the moment. It's probably just on the other side of this table. But there's three we're going to put here for now. Then I have, these are unopened because I'm being very precious with them. It took me a long time to get them because of my own fault, because my Gmail was full and I didn't know. And finally I got them. My Lisa Santine trio of Destiny deck, which was her first, and then the Lucine Tarot Midnight and Twilight, I believe they're called. These are still sealed. This will be a special thing that we go through. I'm going to just pop them up on the shelf today because if I get into them, I just want to give them more time. I also got the Destiny book, which is just beautiful. And I want to have a day of doing that and looking at the book and using all three of these together. So that's the plan for today, because again, this is kind of a for me anyway, a quick stint of a video. Then two more that are unopened because I really want to do walkthroughs and I want to open them. Yeah, I do. I want to open them and kind of give them their own time. Oracle of Ascendance and Cards of Time. These especially were things that I bought as like a trauma response and was just shopping one day to soothe myself, which most of these are not that. They just happen to be purchased during this time. But this one, I remember these especially were. The Cards of Time I thought was interesting because as it stands, I feel comfortable reading timing questions for myself, but they don't, they make sense and they tend to work out. But timing, if I draw a card with the intent that it's going to tell me the timing, it's not really nailed down. And it is accurate when it happens, but there are also other dates that it could have been. And I'm like, oh, I thought it was going to be that. And so it works out at the end. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all, but basically I wanted like a less nebulous way to do timing questions. And so I got this in case it helps with that. So we will look at this someday soon. I think going ahead into next week, my schedule is kind of changing week by week right now. I think Tuesday of next week I'll like 95% sure be on, and we'll probably like peek into some of these things. And then I think Wednesday, if I'm available, we'll pick up archetypes again. But I just kind of wasn't in that headspace today. So anyway, Oracle of Ascendance looks all cosmic-y and has chakras and astrology things, and it just really spoke to me. Hey Debbie, thank you for being here with us. Yes, timing is so hard because there really isn't time on the other side. And that's a lot of my feeling as well. And yeah, so we'll leave these sealed ones just all here waiting to be cracked into someday. I did finally, during this time, get the new Era Elements Tarot, which is something that I have been interested in for a very long time. I actually ended up pulling the trigger to get this when I was working on like a craft card project for a friend that I didn't end up finishing. Like I did one set and I wasn't super happy with it. And then I bought another deck to kind of modify to like try again. And in helping me to modify that other particular deck, I bought this because I've wanted it for a long time and because it would help me create the modification I was doing on this other deck. Ended up dropping that project because it just didn't feel like it was needed anymore. It's hard to explain. It's not even a big deal. But yeah, anyway, ended up getting this deck to help with that, sort of as a guide on how to modify that other deck. And it had to do with like astrological symbols being added. So the quartz don't have them, but you'll see here and here. So it's kind of a mixy little deck. Some of it is rather sharp. The High Priestess with her tarot cards. There are some animals that are in not great shape in here, a couple that are kind of triggering for people. The aces all have this like focus on the element plus the astrological signs to go with it, which I love. The star card is beautiful. Just some kind of different things that I won't show the kind of triggery ones right now. It's a little frothy with the keyword. Well, it is, you know what I mean, with the keywords. And I do like having those interpretations. I do read those into regular tarot cards often. So this was just nice to have sort of as a template. though I have used it even for some client readings too, for people that I know who are familiar enough with tarot not to be put off by different depictions. So anyway, there's that. Pamela says, why can't I close this? No, that's not what Pamela says. Jane says, those are beautiful. Pamela says, I just got a curious deck called Morgan's Tarot. It is perfect. It's called a tarot, but it's not actually a tarot. I feel like I've heard of this before, but it's not in my head right now. The Slow Tarot. This was also in that secondhand bundle I keep talking about, right? All liminal spirits, crystal reading cards, this. It might have been 2 bundles, but anyway, secondhand bundle nonetheless. The Slow Tarot, the cardstock is this beautiful linen. This one sort of reminds me of Hush, though sort of not. There's a little bit of a creep factor to it because of the art style and stuff, though this one is not creepy to me, but I love this world card, right? This is right up my alley. There's also a second world card, but still very cosmic-y, like kind of a similar idea, I think. We have Atonement in place of Judgment, things like that. The artwork's really beautiful. The suits have different borders around them, and the aces are borderless. So we have, like, here's the pence and the wands. I believe this is out of print, and this is one of the reasons that I jumped at this bundle because of the price of this. So, like, the wands have this, like, a burgundy border. The cups have this sort of charcoal. And let me just show you a few more depictions here. This is one I remember seeing and, like, would watch a walkthrough, and, like, this one would stick in my head for a long time. So on and so forth. The swords have this gray border. I see people saying hi to Sandra. Hello, thank you for hanging out with us. And then the coins have this sort of like tan or brown border. It's really beautiful. This 10 I just love because it looks so real life to me. I mean, aside from the snake, unless it's like Chris's house, but I mean, just like a table of ephemera scattered about. Yeah. Page of coins. Look at the lemonade stand. It's just great. So anyway, Slow Tarot, one of the reasons I had to go for this secondhand bundle that I keep mentioning. This is by Lacey Bryant, by the way. Okay. Then we have the original Arthur Rackham Oracle. So this is another one I've been wanting for quite a while. I have the other Arthur Rackham Oracle and the Arthur Rackham Tarot. I'm a super fan. This first edition by Duck Soup Productions, I just really wanted. There are some differences between this and the other Oracle. So this one says Regrets, Winter of the Soul. So again, using pre-existing artwork. Let me see. Grace, Divinely Blessed. I love the feel of this. Again, the Arthur Rackham stuff makes me think of the Hush Tarot as well. This one says Beginning at the End. Nice deck, the Slow Tarot. Yes, Sandra. Guidance, The Hidden Path. Right, so just some kind of interesting things that we might not always see. complication and unexpected development. First, Sandra says, I have the first Arthur Rackham deck by Duck Soup before I knew about the problems with them. Oh, I don't know about the problems, but you can tell me if you want. First Light, At the Breaking of the Storm. Jane says, I have to get that slow tarot. This is dangerous for me. Yes, please purchase responsibly. And again, some of these things have been kind of on my mental wish list for a long time. And then when I see them come up secondhand, then I'm like, okay, need that. This one, I love her gown so much. This is Reserve, Complete Unto Oneself. And how could you not be in that gown? I mean, are you kidding? Gorgeous. Compassion, A Light in the Dark. Temptation, The Beast Within. Oh, about Duck Soup. It was to do with a deck they produced that was racist and they refused to not sell it. I remember that now. I mean, just vaguely. Thank you for that. Yeah, not great. Not a great situation. Okay, so you get the idea. It has this lovely gold gilding. These are the backs. Yeah. Don't know where I put the top. Oh, right here in front of me. Right here in front of me. It smells really good. In case anyone was wondering, it smells like brand new, like the person I got it from didn't. My hair is up here. Like it wasn't used very much, which is fine with me. It's like brand new. Then I have the Mindscapes. I wasn't going to try to remember what that was. A Tarot Panorama by John A. Rice. This one I actually have done a walkthrough of. It's on my phone. I have not loaded it. I need to do that very soon. But I'm just going to show you. This is a majors only. And it was so beautiful. Had to have it. The Hanged One. Just really incredible, beautiful artwork that I knew I could get lost in and make so much sense of. This might be in order because I went through it, as I said, and have not used it since the walkthrough. But I did, oh no, I journaled with it, but I didn't like shuffle and use it. I will show you the journal here. This was a Kickstarter situation. How do I find these cool deck bundles? Mostly in Tim and Alan's Tarot Marketplace or whatever it's called. I just want to make sure I'm not showing you. So this is just lined paper. And there are no prompts or anything like that. But this was, I think, a reward for the Kickstarter, or I added on. It was inexpensive. And I knew that I would want to do just that kind of like open-ended journaling with this deck as well. So that's that. Yeah, I'm in a couple tarot like secondhand sale groups, but I would say most of what I've gotten is from Tim and Alan's, I think. And you just, again, this pile has been building over here. So you just got to wait and be patient and see what pops up. And then one day, a bunch of things that you want are all together. Compendium of Witches book is over here, but that was just to give me a landing spot for some of these so they wouldn't be so tippy on the carpet. So we don't need to look at that. Here's a really cool thing I got. Great Lakes Oracle. So I live in Michigan, which is referred to as the Great Lakes State. This is from a creator in my state. One of my best friends tagged me in a post about this. I had no idea about it, except for from a she has some decks, but I'm going to say a non-tarot person, just so you know how it came to be. I would have had no idea about it. Transformation, changing, stable, and secure. This is card 27, Lake Superior Agate. So full color representation in the book. Pages are super smooth and gorgeous. And so this is based on scenes of the Great Lakes. I put the wrap back around it because it's so pretty. Now, these cards, they are big and cardboardy and not great for riffling, etc., right? It's just a Michigan thing that I had to have. Here are the backs, and here are some examples of the fronts. So we have fishing net, it says down here. Good morning, Jamie. We have a lighthouse, lighthouse keeper, Tahquamenon Falls, been there. It's in our beautiful Upper Peninsula. The Northern Lights. This is probably at like Sleepy Bear Dunes. Sleeping Bear Dunes. My kids have like night lights that I call Sleepy Bear. Sleeping Bear Dunes, because that looks just like a shot there. Anyway. Beach glass, logging, driftwood. Jamie says, I like the art. Yeah, it's really, really beautiful. The Great Lakes. Christmas tree ship. That is probably, well, it might be like a Mackinac Island thing, or maybe, I don't know, I shouldn't say. But yes, there are Christmas tree ships. Moon card, right? Some things that are not Michigan specific, but that look like a cloudy Michigan day. Color change. Petoskey stone, it's our state stone. Forget-me-nots. Morel mushrooms. Sunset, right? Things like this. Cherries, that's a big thing here. Might be our biggest export. The pictured rocks, so on and so forth. I'm biased and I would show you all these, and maybe we'll do that someday. But again, just wanted to give you a little peek at those. And this was illustrated by Sarah Palmer, written by Colleen Foote. So like for the fishing net, it says cast a wider net, dig deep. Commercial fishing on the Great Lakes began as far back as 1865. Many of the fishermen used nets to scoop up fish from the depths of the lakes. You may also need to cast a wider net in your own life. It can feel more natural if you play it safe, only going as far as you feel comfortable. Think about what is holding you back and what work you still have to do. Cast a net over the side of your boat and dig into what you need to discover. Always remember to look for those signs hiding in the corners of your life, the experiences that are there to teach you lessons. Many of the experiences that we are most nervous about hold the keys we need for unlocking potential. As soon as you start learning to trust this intuition, cast a larger net. You will find yourself netting the greatest rewards. And then an affirmation, I will cast the biggest net to find everything I need. It is always within my reach. Right? I have an Oregon specific deck and it's fun. I also like the something. Gotta love her. Jamie's cat. Yeah, amazing. Stealing lunch and all those kinds of tricky things. All right, so there's my Great Lakes Oracle. Had to have, of course. Okay, 10:30. We're going to go through just a couple more here. Oh, maybe just one more. because there are things that are over here a bit that, oh no, these have to come over. Hold on. I was going to say, like, I have Orshi's Galaxy RWS, which I have shown in my birthday haul. So that one kind of was already like here in the world in terms of inventory. And then Kristen's Star Rune and Jonathan's Lenormand and Robin's Toadstool Tarot. Those were my 4 birthday ones that we already talked about, and Boo Tarot, which I put up there. But I do also have, this was a secondhand thing separate from the bundle that I was talking about. Also, Spirit Keepers, question mark. Was this a before baby or after baby thing? I don't know, but I will check. This is why we're doing this. It's just sitting like chilling, so maybe it hadn't been counted yet. Then I have a pile of stuff for the Allymans group. I don't need to do that. Okay, hold on. Gotta move my Scully necklace. So many treasures. Book of maps. Some journals. Okay. So I have. Jamie says after. Okay. See, it's so good to know it, like everything just scramble. So the Seed and Sickle, this amazing thing, I bought secondhand from someone who now lives in Florida, and they used to live in Michigan, like a half hour away from where I live now. Because when I sent her my address, she was like, oh, weird. I used to live in blah, 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 which is like a small town right near her. So we have the Seed and Sickle, which I have not used yet. But it's essentially like, it's like two-sided, not two-sided. It's, there's like a shadow and a light meaning that comes with it. How does this open? Oh yeah, magnetic on the bottom. Sunrise and Sunset books or something. Jane says, you probably still have baby brain. A woman's brain shrinks when she's pregnant. It really is a whole thing. You know, that's true. I feel like I still had baby brain from having Max, and like I wasn't that affected after having Bela. But then this time I have trauma brain. So you're probably right on both fronts. Beautiful. And then it comes with the Dusk guidebook and the Dawn guidebook. Okay, so not Sunrise and Sunset, but you get the idea. It's a plant-based deck. Did I need another plant-based deck? I don't know, but it's beautiful. And I did know from watching Sandra's walkthrough that I was very interested in this because of the 2 books that it comes with. Just thought that was so interesting. And this one in particular came with the Kickstarter special of the Citadel Tarot, which, where did I put that? Let me find it. I probably would not have gotten this just on its own, though I do think it's beautiful and I will use it. Box is really cool. Let's put this whole thing up there, I guess. Because, you'll see that it came with 2 things. Yeah. It also came with a journal that is what I used for the lyric and sigil readings for clients I was talking about yesterday. Came with a Citadel deck, and I wanted that very badly. Has this cutie little book. Hi, Fiona. I know, baby. Okay, and it's an archetype deck. These are the backs. Boop. And it has things like the warrior. Again, when I was talking about sigils yesterday, I used this journal and these cards, but originally had the idea to draw sigils for my clients from using that magic Making Magic deck. So this was like a whole thing. This was like the third part of it. Has the Wise One, the Champion. And so these cards I put down on the paper, and then I drew the sigils and wrote lyrics and took a picture, and then I wrote up the reading to go with that. The Cartographer, just cool, different things. Yeah. The Astronomer, the Queen, some red and black line work with that kind of like coppery rose gold on it. And it splits them into, I think, 3 categories, sort of in like classes. The Poet, the Pilgrim, the Summoner. Just cool things, and I wanted it bad, and that's what made me get that. Yes, Kitty Fiona, she's at the door. She doesn't understand why I'm not just sitting on the couch blasting away at work. Oh, I'll show this next to the book. I did edge this in like a bronze, like a Sharpie bronze copper. Jamie says it's the copper that grabs me. Yeah, it's really well done. It's beautiful, but like simple somehow, even though there's a lot there. You know the things I like. Okay, so these can go all together there. And then I think, okay, I have my extra Opal Omen, which I just bought. Sometimes I buy 2 to like gift one, and it's just sitting over there right now. But we looked at that yesterday. The rest of the things I see are Allemans, trade group decks, like single card trades, and then Orshis and Kristen's deck, which we already covered. And so the last thing in my rainy day pile is the Wild Unknown Alchemy deck. You had to know this was going to happen. I got the email for the pre-order. Again, this was long ago. Quite certain Gerald also sent me a link just to make sure I had seen it. I have not cracked this open because this is going to be a thing we do together, because you know how much I love the Archetypes deck. We're going to do this later. This is the first time I've even held the book. It's done exactly the same as the Archetype one, and I can't wait to read it and fold it open and get the crease on each side like I have on the other one. Okay, I'm just going to flip. Oh, yeah. Okay, so yet another hexagon deck. And that's all I'm going to show of it right now. But same kind of packaging setup, book, everything like that as the Archetypes, except for, of course, this deck is hexagon shape. Yeah, that's that. That's the rainy day pile of treasures. Let me just cut my arm open on this shelf. I mean, not really. Yeah, friends, that's it. That's the end of it. We've been on about 48 minutes, which is great. We're going to call it for today because I have 2 client readings to do before I take off and get on with the rest of my day. So thank you all for being here. I will see you, quite certain, on Tuesday. Okay. Yes, Jane, time did go so fast, especially because I usually am on like twice this amount of time. But anyway, thank you for being here yesterday. Thank you for being here today. Thanks for showing up just whenever I can pop on. And I hope the rest of your week is great. I will probably see you in some chats. Hope you have an awesome weekend. I will be mostly off the grid. There's a chance I could pop on Saturday morning, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But if I don't see you Saturday morning, I will see you Tuesday. Keep an eye on the page. Give me a like. Check out my community tab because I have that now. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all so much. Keep on keeping on, and I will see you next time.